Oh, my. So, in other words, it's a Trojan horse peace treaty.
Absolutely.
So, in other words, your enemy is beating you, so you say, let's have a peace treaty. Meanwhile, you're building up your arms to defeat him.
Correct. And this is what will happen in Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood will lay dormant for a little while and will erupt. The situation, you cannot have coup d'etats in Egypt all the time. This is the second coup d'etat. Eventually, with the situation in Egypt, you could have a civil war just like in Syria. And that's what I predict will happen. You know, you have several areas in Egypt that supports Morsi and several other areas that supports the opposition, especially in the Red Sea area where you have tourism. They want more of a modernized system. So you could eventually have Egyptian fighting Egyptian, neighborhood to neighborhood, city against city.
Oh, my God. You know what's heartbreaking here? Waleed, you know better than I do. You're from the Middle East. But as an American looking in from the outside, it's almost like Alice in Wonderland to me, the Byzantine nature of Arab societies, the constant trials between Sunni and Shia. We don't truly understand it. The only comparison we can make is the Catholic Protestant issue in Ireland, for example. We'd have to go back 500 years to the Middle Ages in Christianity to understand what's going on, even have a semblance of it, and most of us don't even want to bother. But when I see the people in Tahrir Square celebrating, 1 million of them, I feel like they have the 4th of July that I want here. Waleed, I saw them celebrating their Day of Independence today. And here in America, we've been deballed by this administration.
That's correct. With the Middle East, it's very easy to understand it. It's not that difficult. They keep saying it's complicated. It's not. It's, you know, you have it divided between nationalism and Islamism, period. The nationalist movements always will include everybody in the affair. Copts, Shia, Sunni, it doesn't matter. And that's what
Wally, this is music to my ears because about a year ago I wrote that the only thing that can save America is a nationalist party. People went crazy for the idea. The word nationalism in America has been equated with Nazism, which is why people are afraid of it. Waleed, stay with us and explain to the people about the word nationalism. To me, it means borders, language, and culture. I'll be right back. We're speaking with the one and only Waleed Shobat, and listen to him because he knows what's going on. I'll be right back on the Savage Nation. Obama engineered the overthrow of Mubarak, which led to the installation of the radical Islamist Muslim Brotherhood. The people said, "The hell with them. We don't want to be dragged back to the 15th century," and they threw them out today. And you don't understand how important this is. I don't think this is going to go as smoothly as others may think. Waleed Shobat is our guest. Waleed, welcome back to the Savage Nation.
Thank you, Michael.
Waleed, do you fear, as I do, that this is not going to... In other words, they're calling for elections within a year. Right now we have a top judge to run Egypt as an interim president. You know and I know that there's liable to be assassinations of military heads and God knows the civilians who are running the government. There's going to be all sorts of mayhem there, is there not? I fear the Muslim Brotherhood could return to Egypt.
Well, when we think of the Muslim Brotherhood, we must think of the movie The Exorcist. You know, when the demon is weakened, he becomes sort of your mother if you were the priest exorcising the demon. It can masticize itself in any shape, way, or form. It could look...
You mean it could even pretend to be an American president? Stop. I'm just joking. I couldn't help but putting that one in.
When it comes to the American president, I don't understand in this country, Michael. Why is it a problem to say that he has Islamic affiliation? If I suspected Obama was a Mormon or a Shinto or a Hindu or a New Ager, that doesn't seem to be a problem. But if I suspect he was a Muslim, that's a problem. Why? I don't get it.
Because the American people have been beaten up by the Republican Party. In other words, even when that fool McCain was running against Obama the first time, I'll never forget it as long as I live, Waleed. In going into the last debate, the people were demanding that old fool McCain, that shill, that warmonger, get up there and say that he was a sympathetic toward the radical Muslim causes. You know what McCain said? Oh, now he said, no, he's a nice man with nice children. We shouldn't worry about him. So it's a two-party system that's really one-card Monty. It's an oligarchy. And the fact is that the other party is either too afraid or in on the same story. Waleed, I don't have an explanation.
Well, I think I do have an explanation. I think I think we have been conditioned by the American media on daily basis on taboos. Taboos have become the issue. We talk about racism in this country. I don't understand it, Michael. In this country, there's no racism in this country. We exercise the least amount of racism than any other place in the world, yet we talk...
Absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah, we talk about it more than any other nation in the world. You know, that's not the situation in the Middle East. They're kind of more frank than here. There's more freedom of speech in the Middle East than there is here.
Amen. Amen. I think the people are brighter. Waleed, I'm starting to think that an uneducated Egyptian has more political sense than an educated American.
I absolutely agree with you. I deal with Americans all the time. I'm getting tired of even dealing with them. Every time you bring an issue, they talk about love, 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 love. Even the churches, they talk about love all the time. It says love doesn't live in a vacuum. Love comes through truth, justice, law. What happened to law? I asked even my Christian friends, do you think Moses will tolerate gay parades in the Sinai? So you go to Russia, you know, you see how Russians behave. You see even how Putin behaves. It's nothing like what we have in America today. Our freedoms are being taken away every single day, and it seems that there's no voices. Americans should be going to all the churches and be parading and demonstrating in the White House.
Well, we just heard from a caller, Waleed, who claimed to work for the FBI. He said he was a young worker and he couldn't take it anymore. He claimed he was calling on a secure line. His heart was broken. He said they have agents inside every church in America as agents pretending to be members of the congregation who are spying on every church in America while they're not spying on mosques. Do you believe that's possible?
100%. In fact, my own phone is tapped. You know, I can tell even when they...
Well, my radio show is tapped. Do you realize that I am being listened to right now by not only my audience, but the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and members of the Obama Inner Circle? I mean, why should I not believe that since it's a public broadcast?
Yeah, look, I dealt with the FBI. I dealt with them for a decade, and I've seen what they did. I turn in people for them. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. My own.
How come Homeland Security is buying 2 billion rounds of ammunition? They have urban assault vehicles. They're building a shooting range near LaGuardia Airport. How come DHS and the FBI and the CIA didn't stop the Sarnoff brothers from the Boston Massacre? Do you have any ideas on that one?
No, I would not, but I know that what's happening in America today is what used to happen in Russia under communism, and what's happening in Russia today is what was happening in America decades ago.
Yes. Well, Aldous Huxley predicted that, Waleed, in his book in the 1950s. He wrote that as America and Russia have more and more in common, Russia will start to look more like America, and America will start to look more like Russia. So as they're abandoning their fascist tendencies, we have adopted fascistic tendencies, and while they had no free press and they're gaining some semblance of it, we have completely lost our free press in America, Waleed. Waleed Shobat, how can people follow you? What do they go to?
My website is very simple, shoebat.com, as you spell the word shoe and the word bat.
SHOEBot.com. SHOEBAT.com. Waleed, you know what you're talking about, my brother.
You as well.
Thanks for being with us.